Time for the hot topic of the hour. A trove of documents related to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein released to the public for the first time. Over 170 high-profile names are within the documents containing testimony from Epstein's victims. Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Donald Trump are among the names that are mentioned in the now redacted documents. One of Epstein's victims testifying that he had said Bill Clinton, quote, likes them young. This is Epstein speaking in reference to young girls. The documents reveal that he took 4 trips, that is Clinton, on convicted sex offender Epstein's private plane in the early 2000s. Though there is no testimony accusing him of any illegal activities. A 2016 deposition from another Epstein victim claims that Prince Andrew put his hand on her breast as she sat on his lap at Epstein's Manhattan home. That happening allegedly 2001. Also named in these documents, you've got lawyer Alan Dershowitz, who has gone on record saying he wants the documents released so that it would exonerate him from any alleged wrongdoing. Dershowitz joining Hannity last night. Watch this.
Revealed will prove categorically that she did misidentify me, that I never met her, never heard of her, never spoke to her. And I can prove it by independent means. I have all my travel records. I have all my television appearances. I can prove that I couldn't possibly have been anywhere near any of the people who were involved in this. I was Epstein's lawyer. Of course I flew on his plane.
Well, President Trump was also mentioned as flying on Epstein's plane from Florida to New York at least once. There was also a claim that Epstein wanted to go see Trump at his Atlantic City casino when his plane was forced to land there due to bad weather. Still, the former president was not accused of any wrongdoing. We've been waiting, Kayleigh, for these documents to be released, and we've heard these names before in relation to Epstein. Obviously, I would think that the judge, and this is the Virginia Jeffrey case, obviously, from back in 2015, felt like it was right to release these documents, but there's no charges against anybody listed. So
right. It's really just providing additional context for the charges that have already been leveled by some of these victims against some of these high-profile names that many of us have already known for a while. There were a few new names in there. Stephen Hawking was one of them, a few other bizarre other random figures. But I think, you know, the evidence that is coming out from these files just goes to show, and I think it's depressing to a lot of people out there because it shows just how depraved this whole thing really was and how depraved many of the elites in our society really are. And it's very disturbing when you think about the number of high-profile people who carried a lot of weight in major institutions, not just in the U.S., but around the world. Prince Andrew is one of them as well. And that's what's so disturbing about all of this. And I think another element that I have to wonder about is why this has turned into a political football. You know, Marsha Blackburn has been trying to get the flight logs released in Congress now for quite a while so that the public can know the extent to what happened. And she's accused Senate Democrats of deliberately trying to derail her efforts to expose who was on these flights. That's an issue to me. I think that there should be full transparency, and yet I can't believe that this has not become a bipartisan area of consensus.
Right. Well, you know, it's interesting too, Mark, because, you know, as somebody that, you know, that works around Wall Street and you know, again, Jeffrey Epstein was a financier. Money speaks.
Yes.
And to her point about the elites, especially on Wall Street, you know, whether it's private planes or private vacations or elaborate dinners, you know, this is the name of the game on Wall Street. Epstein was a sex trafficker and a criminal, and was, I mean, a horrible, depraved person.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know, when you've got names like Bill Gates and these other people's mentioned, well, of course, they're just used to being handed free trips. They're used to being spoiled like this. So, you know, I think I want to be clear that, you know, Bill Clinton, you know, these people were not accused of any wrongdoing, but I think it just drudges up the fact of how these guys ran around and their attitudes.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
And you know what? I mean, look, people with private jets tend to hang with other people that have private jets. So first and foremost. But when you look at this list, I mean, it's suspicious. It's disturbing if your name is on the list. Not incriminating, but it's still very suspicious. And you know, I would expect that there would be a deeper investigation into some of the names on the list. And if any of these individuals are predators, they need to go down. Now, with regards to Bill Clinton, Obviously, the connection between Epstein and Clinton and Epstein and Prince Andrew have been known for quite a long time.
And this has destroyed Prince Andrew, and I think fairly
Right.
so. I mean, he's been accused of some pretty lewd behavior.